Mae Nak, Eternal Love, written by Vincent Montez. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. Prologue. According to legend, in mid-18th century Siam, a woman named Na loved and married a man named Mak. It was the match made in heaven, and their happiness was truly a dream. They had a home on the Phra Khanong Canal. He left to go to war, and soon thereafter she discovered that she was with child. As the war raged, he was wounded near to death. She came to him in a dream and healed him. In that same moment, she died giving birth to their child. When he returned home, she greeted him, and they resumed their joyful life. But people in the village told him that she had died. He refused to believe them. They became more insistent and tried to get him to leave her. She tried to make him stay and believe in their love. For those who opposed Mae Nak, she fated them with bad dreams and calamities. In return, they burned down her home. They said she was a ghost. It is said that the past, present, and future are all the same. This modern story's timeline is set in eternity. Chapter 1. Mae Nak. Is life eternal or impermanent or both? This seeming paradox quiets my anxious heart. My name is Na. I live alone in a clearing of trees near the picturesque Phra Khanong Canal. This place was special to me. It was the home I never wanted to leave. I spend much of my time in this place of both tragedy and dreams. There is a peacefulness and tranquility to this place now. I want to make this a home again. I have encountered a variety of people in my life journeys. There are those who remember almost nothing of past lives, and there are the rare bodhisattvas that can see so many things. I am neither, but I do experience many things so differently than others. To have what is within to be so without, or the generations of unconscious repeating. This is my question. What will all of these lives and memories bring to me this time? My dress is simple yet rich in tradition. It helps me to remember. I like to wear my ngob wide-brimmed hat and silken garments. I create them myself. It is peaceful to make these useful things. This forest carries the memory, the love, and the life stories of so many. I pass through it much like the tropical winds, touching each and every part of it. The temple is a short distance down the canal. As many people in this region have done for centuries, I like to travel by boat. I hope to feel peace and clarity there, but in these places I often also feel other things. Today it is my intention to meditate. As I near the temple, a young monk approaches me as if he were expecting my arrival. He bows in greeting and says,
"The master is impressed that you have found this place so soon."
I am instantly intrigued and would like to meet this master.
When the sun rises each day, the master gives it a new name.
So each new day has a new name.
Yes, this is one of the simple lessons that reminds us of rebirth and newness.
It is a good message.
Master also says that you have a name, Na.
Yes.
Master says that your name is always Na. It is the name that you have used more than once.
They seem to know me at this place. This I expected, but I did not anticipate the delivery of these messages. I would like to meet this master that knows my name. This place reminds me of things yet to come. I have intuition here.
You can meet him another day. It is why he sent me to speak with you. He meditates today.
The monk notices the jungle crows in the trees behind me. He sees that my cat is also under the trees where the jungle ends, just before the temple grounds. Both the crows and my cat remain at the edge of the jungle watching us. The monk looks at them, pleased.
The cat and the jungle crow, although both spiritual creatures, do not usually occupy the same space. The master says they have senses beyond understanding that very few can see and feel. This is not written in any book. Master just knows the nature of many things.
The mysteries revealed by a master are not found in books. I had come here to meditate, but now I think that this place is in my path for reasons I don't yet understand. You have given me messages from your master. Can you share with me what people think I am?
In the past, many said that you are a ghost and that you conjure energies that are outside of this world.
I feel something sad inside as I hear his words. I reword my question and ask again, what is it that you think I am?
I only know what I see, and I see Mae Nak. I am in agreement with the master. You are Mae Nak. What is most important is how Mae Nak answers her own questions.
I am relieved by this response.
The master had a final message for you today. It is intended only for you, and I cannot explain further.
I nod to the monk, accepting the condition of the message.
In each life, we must choose the new path, for the wanderer's path is the circle with no end.
The monk then guides me to a meditation area. There are clumps of tall, lush grass here and there, moving rhythmically with the breeze, while other areas have been cleared under the canopies of shade trees. For more than a century, these restful places have been safe spiritual grounds. The monk hesitates before he departs.
You are not alone, Mae Nak.
We both bow low and he leaves me. I look up to see tropical clouds dim the sun as they churn the blue from the sky. Thunder crackles in their wake. This is the beginning. The clouds know what comes next.
Chapter 2. Mock. The lights are set very low, establishing the soulful tranquility that I cherish inside my music studio. It's midday, but I still wear sleepwear and house slippers. The studio walls, adorned with music awards and event posters, are mostly concealed with heavy black tapestries overlaid with colorfully scalloped valances depicting the rich, multifaceted heritage of ancient Siam. For the most part, the studio equipment is hidden in this sleepy bardo with monitors discreetly incorporated. I draw a tapestry to the side to reveal the room's only window. Outside of my tranquil refuge, my beautiful home is nestled amidst the glory of nature, with its intricate pattern of flowers, vibrant colors, and the magnificent sound of birdsong among the deep greens and earthly browns of trees, plus the homes of the successful comfortably huddled in a sweet natural setting. It is all that I have worked so hard to attain. Yet I look at everything I have and see nothing. For me, the world is empty, merely a dream I cannot escape. At night, I constantly dream of music, which is both a gift and a curse. My music manager even made me see a neurologist to try to help me understand why this is always happening. After several unwanted probing tests and invasive inquiries, the neurologist's diagnosis was merely lucid dreaming, a condition in which a person doesn't always know what is real. This told me nothing. Last night, I dreamed again. Always the same, always more real than my waking life. It was a woman, always a woman. The dreams were beautiful beyond anything in waking life. The dreams made the music, and yes, the music made the money. But somehow it felt as if I were betraying her for profit. I have dreamed of different worlds my entire life. Just as everyone else wakes to the same consistent world they call real, I always return to the same multitude of vivid dream worlds. All of them together meshed into something I have always had trouble describing. The dreams are so real to me. My only thoughts upon waking are to return to sleep. Some dreams I could see and feel, while others I just sensed that they were there. I could feel her pushing the dreams into me, drawing me closer. I was in love with her. Our love was like laughter in a storm. We always met in secret, and she consistently found me wherever I was. She told me the universe had spirit guides all around if you open your eyes to find them. When I was with her, I could feel warm colors splashing about in my heart, but there was also a storm. The storm represented the family and tribal disapproval of the things they did not understand. I could feel the hot colors of their aggression. It was a storm hanging above us, and we laughed in its rain. I was preparing to take what I called a creative break. Others would call it a nap. I was going to bring a song back this time. I already knew the title, I'll See You Where Dreams Come True. Although I spent a majority of my time alone, I continually felt her love inside me. I sensed someone is in the room. I turned to find my manager, Naran, a handsome man that wore a smirk in favor of a smile. His designer clothes are of the best tailored fashion, and he wears everything with a swagger of confidence. A small cat trails into the house behind him. Niran led with sarcasm.
Every time I come in here, it's the same thing. Pajama boy getting ready for a nap.
You know it's my method. I only write what I feel, what I dream. Naran looks down at the cat and tries to shoo it away with his foot. The cat recoils and mimes a hiss.
This little feral followed me through the door.
Naran moves to the audiovisual equipment and cues up the latest video to see what I have been working on. My only love flashes onto the view screens dispersed around the sound room. We are surrounded by a collage of images. On the monitors, yellow blossoms from a grove of flowering trees fall like snow on two lovers. Naran is visibly frustrated.
This was the most innovative imagery and song I had ever seen, but it's a year old.
He spins the computer's trackball and the images blur, jumping from screen to screen in a disturbing distortion of yellows. Naran, don't do that. That's personal stuff. I glare at him, but I know it won't do any good. He tramples on things not out of cruelty, but because he thinks he's right all the time, which can actually be more annoying. I am reworking some images. They use the wrong trees. They are supposed to be the golden shower trees native to Thailand. I have to make it the way I dreamed it. It has to be perfect.
It's perfect enough. I love you, Mac. But lately you have been dreaming the same thing over and over. We need something new, or we are going to have to start giving money back to producers.
Naran is distracted by the cat.
You want? I'll take that cat outside.
No, if he walked all the way up this hill in a ferocious storm to find me, he belongs here. This I know. His name is Thunder Boy because he came to me in thunder. And as I have told you many times, I only write what I see and feel.
In the dreams? Yeah.
Naran is obviously agitated because he doesn't think I'm accepting his sage advice.
These songs are old and have already been paid for. Our people need to see you. You need to get back out there.
Not interested. I pull on my headphones and restart the music video monitors. Naran starts pacing. He does this when he gets upset, but it's not my problem that he's a hothead. He looks at the video streaming on the monitor.
Your problem is, you think living is about one thing, being in love with a girl you dream about. You literally disconnect from all the things around you and what you truly want, which is some enjoyment in your life. Remember things like laughing, having a good time, hanging with your friends, meeting real girls.
Here he comes with the attack and the flawless logic. At least to him, it's flawless. Naran continues.
Trust me, you need to learn the difference between love from fantasy. You have to have fun while you can. That's living. Look at you now. My only love. Yeah, right. I don't even think that way.
I take off my headphones. When you feel love, you are also going to feel loss, loneliness, pain.
You know nothing about love.
What do you know?
What do I know? I'll tell you exactly what I know. I know that there's no such thing as love. No such thing.
How pathetic.
No.
He snaps back.
Here's what's pathetic. There are only two things. Either two people sleeping together or two people trying to kill each other. That's it. That's what poses as love.
I try my own sarcasm as Neuron rambles on. That's a catchy hook. You write the songs, Neuron.
Real funny. Here, I got something for you.
Neuron pulls out his phone and shows me a video of an elegant rooftop bar in Bangkok. Everyone is dressed fashionably. The women are beautiful, with many of them dancing. Neuron blends in perfectly, garnering their attention, being seen and admired as he passes through the crowd. Okay, so what? I'm unimpressed. I calmly pull Thunderboy onto my lap. As the video streams on his phone, he adds,
These are the industry parties. I go to them all the time. Everyone asks for you. I need you there. You need this too.
Wow, beautiful people. I return to my detailed grooming of Thunderboy. Cats are very particular and do not tolerate inattention. Neuron shakes his head.
More than that, a party. People are having fun. They're living their lives, not sitting at home ruminating.
Will you just chill? You don't get it. I want to work. I want to do my music, what I love.
Your endless love, I know.
It's my only love. I kinda laugh. For some reason, Neuron's sarcasm and messing up the names of my songs almost never bothers me.
Last year's song, and it's been longer than that since you have even been on a date.
I put up my final resistance. I'm taking a break. It just doesn't work for me.
Break's over, dude. This weekend we're going out and we're gonna cut loose. We're gonna break some rules, and don't try to argue with me. It's non-negotiable.
He reaches over to give me a big bro hug that I don't want, but it always makes me smile. I finally relent. If it means that much to you, fine. Thunderboy jumps off my lap and exits the room. Once again, Neuron shoved me into a corner. Cats, on the other hand, no one controls or persuades them to do anything that isn't their idea. Unfortunately, I am not a cat.
Chapter 3, Mae Nak. The sun is setting behind the trees, and I am barefoot on the river's bank. Mac can't do everything he needs for a life through dreams alone. He needs to experience his life, find a path, and remember. His house is in the hill regions with many paths to the canal in close proximity. The cat will bring him to me as long as he doesn't get him lost chasing dragonflies. He follows the cat down the mountain trail. The moon begins to rise above the trees, shedding its magic light into the dense jungle. I feel at home here. I watch the tall grass as the wind blows through it, shedding its collective knowledge. This music I have heard many times and understand. Everything has life and memories. The path goes between the trees and becomes more dense as he approaches the river. The cat walks down a tree that has fallen into the water, making a natural dock. He stands there, peering into the darkness. It is always fascinating to watch a cat. I can see much of what the cat senses. The jungle crows soar and weave through what is written in the wind. It flows through their wings, and they feel what is not seen. This is their knowing. Through them, I know this world. I must be careful to not break the rules of this treasured existence. I am in a small boat wearing clothes I made myself, and my broad-brimmed hat concealing much of my face. The cat whom he has befriended, he calls Thunderboy. It is a nice name, but as I understand cats, they are timeless creatures with little use for convention. He can see me now as my little boat gets closer. I wonder if he will remember. As I row my little boat closer to him, my heart is pounding, but I will wait until he introduces himself. Thunderboy jumps off of his fallen tree into my boat. I start the conversation very simply. Thank you for bringing my cat.
I am so glad that I could find where he came from.
I don't know that he comes from me, but rather that he always chooses me. Mac flashes that masculine smile that I love so much. I put my head down a little to hide behind the wide brim hat. It is not time for him to see how joyful I am until he can see who we are together. I had spent several forevers in the bardos between life and eternity. So much love, so much emotion, such is the existence of the between life. The pureness of my love gives me another chance in this world. It is said that life is a flame passing from one candle to the next, changing each time. My path was different. My pure love could not change or extinguish. The jungle is very beautiful when traveling by boat. Would you join us for a night ride? Mac enters the boat without hesitation and sits behind me. Maybe it's because he dreams so much that he has come to trust his instincts. With him behind me in the small boat, it feels like home for the first time in eternities. I look forward, hiding my face. I hold myself strongly as tears silently cover my cheeks. We travel down the river, feeling everything it offers us. This river, this place, holds so many memories for both of us. He had bathed and fished in the river so many times it was part of him. Would he remember its voice? As we pass the teak trees, I remember his strong and sure hands once built our home. Does he remember it, or is it just a dream to him? We are close now to a place where the trees are mostly cleared. I slow the boat. Mark appears to be alerted to something.
I smell fire here.
He looks around to make sure we are safe. There was a fire here long ago, I reply. A beautiful home had burned. It is safe now. I feel joy knowing that as his flame passed from life to life, he still remembers this place. This is my home, I add. I bought the land here. It has not been used for over 100 years.
This place feels like the right place to build a home.
He says this as he stares into the exact place where a home once stood. I agree. I maneuver the boat to take him back to his walk path. It is more than just dreams to him. I know this. We travel up the river with the moon at our backs. The jungle crows dive in and out of the trees. He looks at the crows and says,
I think they are escorting us.
I look toward the crows and put out my arms. 2 of them fly in and land lightly on my hands. We glide down the canal like this, with Mac gazing into my eyes. I am so overwhelmed by our first meeting after such an endless time. He remembers. There are so many flowering trees and floating lotus at this time of the year. We have fun naming what we see in the beautiful moonlight. He pauses for a moment, seeing something that stills the air. It is the golden shower tree in full bloom with its yellow blossoms. Mac is speechless.
This is the most beautiful of all trees.
I feel it too and agree with a nod of my head. Then I drop him off near his walk path and we exchange polite good nights. As he walks away, I say, if you need me and the cat cannot find me, ask for me at the temple. My name is No. As I drift down the river, I feel his eyes on me until I am beyond sight. I know this is difficult for him. Memories, dreams, and a spirit guide cat. His mind is touching things beyond so many veils. I pray tonight as I do each night. Our love is our strength.
Chapter 4. Mac. I am alone in my studio, lying on the lounge with a comfortable blanket. Thunderboy jumps on my chest. I look into the eyes of the cat and can only see a spirit stripped of anything resembling my all too human emotions reflecting back. The cat purrs me to sleep. In dreams, there was always something like color that painted everything. The color I felt from my father was best described as the coldest shades of coal. I can feel my father telling me about family honor. I had gone to the armorer and had special uniforms and armaments custom made to honor our village. It was especially important to my father to follow traditions. My clothing had to be a precise match to what my father had once worn. There was so much remnant energy in this tradition. In this energy, I felt helpless, but to do what my father had done, feel what he felt, become my father. Naran's psychologist said I was lucid. I think it's more than that. In this dream, I felt myself covered in symbols that wrapped me in generations of tradition. Now I am with Na, in her world of vibrant colors. The yellow blossoms were falling, and I was following a black cat. I knew to always follow the cat to find her, and there she was, barefoot, standing at the bank of the canal. It was spring, and the entire canal was blooming with pink lotus flowers. She smiled and turned, knowing I would be there. Everything was continuous. I am wearing the uniform I saw in the dream. Na saw it, and a dark shade overwhelmed her, like this dream was one that was fixed in time and could not be altered. She smiled for a moment and then tried not to cry as she spoke in a pleading voice.
Mac, you are filled with the foolishness of the farmer and the servant. I know this because my father is a chieftain. Men born to work fight for those that will never work or fight as you do. Do not risk your life and our family for men that think you are too low to eat at the same table.
I knew what she said was true. Everyone knew this truth, but what could be done? Besides, the tradition of it and family pride were strong motivators for me. This must be done, I explained. Many before me have done this, and without the protection of men, this village would not stand by itself.
If only we could truly hear each other on this subject as we do concerning all other things. We are the match made in heaven, but on this we disagree.
Thunderboy retreats to the riverbank, uninterested in this mundane debate. He climbs onto a branch overhanging the river and peers deep into the waters for a long moment. His eyes see only what he wants to see, his ears only hearing what he wishes to hear. This is the power of cats. Instantly his muscles tense, and he leaps into the river like a dragon diving from the heavens. Moments later, he exits the lake with a good-sized fish. He brings it out of the river and lays it between us. The cat moves back and watches as we both look at the fish. Then we look at each other and feel the paradise that we have together. We smell the fresh blossoms, and we hear the music of the river. She softens and looks at me.
I'm with child. We are having our baby.
Tears well up surrounding my eyes, and my heart pulls so much gravity that I have to push my breath in and then out. Yellow blossoms stick to her tear-soaked cheeks. We fall to embrace, locked as a single spirit joined by new life. I have had this dream many times. The yellow blossoms and my love for my wife and my child were a paradise in my heart. This dream I never wished to wake from.
Chapter 5. Niran. The Sky Bar in Bangkok is alive, a beating heart on top of a skyscraper. It is energy, style, and elegance. And tonight it's packed. I cut a path through the crowd like a shark through a school of minnows. Mac is close behind. I turn to Mac. Let's start with the table so we can have a few drinks. Then I scan the crowd looking for something. I spot who I'm looking for and wave to get their attention. Two gorgeous girls move together through the crowd holding hands. Their beauty seems to multiply as they approach us with flashing smiles. A great first impression. I make an introduction. Mock, I would like you to meet Molly and Lalana. Molly is actually one of your producers, and Lalana, I pause and wave my hand up and down, as if drawing attention to a work of art. Well, she is Lalana. Lalana extends her hand to Mock, her fingers downward as a greeting. Mock's hands are in his pockets.
Are you going to take my hand, or are you busy down there?
Mac is embarrassed. I move in quickly to salvage the moment. I take Lalana's hand and guide her into a seat. Mac looks down, around, at anything but Lalana.
I have to use the bathroom.
I pleasantly gesture the direction of the bathroom to Mac. Once he is gone, I glare at Lalana. I told you to be patient with him.
He's shy. I don't find that attractive.
I don't like people disrespecting my best friend, so I show her a side of me she might not like. If I know Mac, he may not find you attractive, and that may go for both of us. He hates small talk and pretentious games. He talks about magic, eternal spirit, and dreams. He's a wonderful and talented artist. Your self-importance, your favorite color, and your approval mean nothing. He likes people with depth who speak from their heart. If this doesn't work for you, you've lost your opportunity here. Lalana is stunned. Men never speak to her like this. She goes to her strength and responds with an alluring wink, smile, and a cutesy.
Gotcha.
I stare into her eyes. Stay on script.
Mac makes his way through the elevator lobby toward the restrooms when he is suddenly surprised by what he sees. It's her, barefoot and dressed in a traditional Thai sabai top and sin skirt wrap. They are alone. She stands with her palms facing him, waiting for him.
Mac, my love.
Mac feels the familiar gravitational push of energy into every part of his body. She looks at him and smiles in her way that fills him with warmth. He pauses and looks around for a moment. Is this one of his dreams? He should be able to feel and see the colors of many worlds, but it's not that way this time. She is right here in front of him. Instinctively, he turns around to see if anyone else is watching. Then he turns back to find she is gone.
Mac returns to the table, visibly shaken. Lalana obviously recognizes his condition. She probably believes that perhaps her earlier brashness may have had an unintended effect, which I know is correct. She reaches out and gently takes his arm, guiding him to the seat beside her. Lalana speaks gently.
Sit here, my love.
Mac's eyes widened. He looks like he is out of it and even more confused, as if his mind is racing to make any connection. I have seen this in him before. He looks to me for stability. I give him a reassuring nod and smile. He begins with an apology.
I'm sorry I left before our introductions were complete.
That's okay. We are all here now, as real as it gets. Tell me something about yourself, or music, or whatever would make our time here meaningful.
I am pleased with the attitude adjustment and give Lalana an approving nod. Mac starts to get comfortable.
I mostly know music and imagery.
I have always been fascinated with your music. Not so much the musical part. I don't have the training to understand that. It's the meaning, the emotion that I connect with.
Mac clearly likes what he hears.
You see, Niran? A song is more than just a great hook.
Lalana laughs, scoring points. I approve with a smirk. Mac looks at Lalana and asks,
Why?
Why what?
Why the emotion and the connection?
I'm a motivational podcaster. My work mostly concerns the human condition, relationships, that sort of thing. Emotion and connection are my life.
Mac appears curious. I now realize that maybe it wasn't a mistake to bring them together.
I host group events.
She gives him a sly smile.
You should try me sometime.
I butt in. What is everyone drinking? I signal a waitress. A new dance song erupts. lighting up the sky with neon lights and filling the air with rhythmic beats. Lalana sways back and forth and smiles. She lightly walks her fingers down Mac's arm to his hand. He isn't quite ready for that and pulls back. She reaches for his face and pinches it.
Let's not be a grumpy pants.
Mac tries to speak, but she is playing with his face. He laughs. Lalana switches her attention to Molly, dragging her to the dance floor as she looks over her shoulder at Mac. I watch and look to Mac with a half smile. I think she's okay, huh? What do you think? The girls dance together. It's very sexy. It seems that Lalana knows exactly when to toss her hair over her shoulder and look toward Mac, and then there's that smile. She motions with her finger for Mac and me to join them. It nearly pulls us out of our seats. What man could resist?
Chapter 6. Mac. Exiting the 5-star elegant hotel, Niran asks the concierge to hail a taxi just as the sky bursts open with rain. The taxi quickly moves to the protected loading areas out of the downpour. Everyone piles in. Niran in the front, me and the ladies in the rear seat. My introverted boundaries are challenged by being sandwiched between two very tipsy and playful women. Niran has me exactly where he wants me. Ladies pressing against me. Lalana's hand is on my arm. It's raining terribly. The car moves into the storm. I look out the window as rain batters the windshield, trapping me further. Lalana leans in, her lips brushing my ear.
Kinda romantic.
She whispers. I want nothing more than to be home. The heavy rain pounds like music in my head. I remember something from another world. The rain almost always brought tragedy. The car makes an arc in the circular drive, and then I see her again. It's her as she looked to me earlier, barefoot and in traditional clothing, yet soaked in the storm. The car completes its arc and pulls out onto the highway. I try to get another look out the back window, but the rain, like the fall of a million teardrops, veils her from my sight. We are finally at my place. I open the doors and am greeted by Thunderboy. The reunion is disturbed when the drunken trio of Niran, Lalana, and Mali follow me into the house. The cat disapproves and retreats to the adjacent studio. I guide them to a billiards game room. Molly stumbles a little and twists in her high heels. Niran, always the gentleman, tosses her over his shoulder and carries her into the game room, flopping her onto the nearest couch. He gives her a serious stare and in a deadpan tone says,
You're drunk.
Everyone laughs as Niran heads to the bar. Ironically, he announces,
Let's play a drinking game.
I think we have been playing that all night. Why don't we work it off with a few games of pool? Niran shakes his head in refusal.
You're too good.
Lalana walks to the table and runs her fingertips along the smooth felt.
I'll play you, Mac, but there has to be something on the line. A few innocent wagers.
Yeah, okay. But it has to be something reasonable. Lalana continues.
It's very reasonable. If I win, I get a tour of your beautiful home. If you win, you can have anything you want.
Niran butts in.
If that's on the line, I want to play.
Deal, I say to Lalana. Niran looks at Molly, lifting his drink to her.
I need some fresh air. Will you join me?
Niran and Molly exit to the balcony to see the evening lights. Lalana looks at me with a flirty smile.
You just lost your chaperone.
Do I need one? Lalana smiles again.
Let's play the game.
I rack the balls and Lalana gets the break. It is an excellent break, dropping 2 stripes. I laugh a little. I can already see from the way she casually positions herself around the table that she knows what she's doing. My mind drifts. I haven't socialized in a long time. These people are fun, but my dreams follow me. Something doesn't click. Maybe Niran is correct. I can't spend so much time alone. I snap out of my daydream to notice that Lalana has cleared the table. She is on the 8 ball with a fairly straightforward shot. I am genuinely impressed and offer, I think I got hustled. Lalana takes the shot and misses ever so slightly. You missed on purpose, I say.
I want to see what you've got.
She replies with a smile. I begin with 2 sharp shots, rapidly dropping 2 balls. Lalana coolly appears to realize that the game isn't over yet. She watches me closely.
Let's see how far you can take it.
I continue to drop shot after shot with absolute precision, and then when I'm down to the last ball, I miss and leave Lalana in a great position. Lalana picks up her cue and looks at me.
You left me with such an easy shot, such a pleaser.
Lalana drops the 8 ball perfectly into the corner pocket and then states,
I win.
I smile. Great game. Lalana looks at me unsmiling.
I already knew the outcome, and so did you. You find a tragic comfort in this.
I continue to smile. It's just a game. She looks straight into my eyes.
Yes, but it's telling when a tournament-level player like you misses like that. Something buried inside you made you play small.
We can have a rematch. Lalana smiles.
No, I got what I wanted. You revealed a little of yourself to me. It's what I told you I wanted, and I want to tour the house.
Chapter 7. Niran. I sip drinks on the balcony with Molly. The moon hangs low and bright on her, making her look good to me right now. Molly begins.
Thank you for the wonderful evening and for bringing Mac.
It took a small miracle to encourage him to join the party. I don't like pushing Mock like that, but my thought is that it was the best thing for him. Molly swirls her wine.
I believe in Mac. That's why I bought into this production company sight unseen. His music was enough, but now that we have had this evening together, I feel much better about my investment.
Lalana is beautiful, but as we discussed, Mock needs something more than that. He needs a woman with depth, something to discover. Tell me more about her.
Lalana is exactly what she said, a podcaster and a relationship and life specialist. I met her in a women's group. It was a place to connect what happens externally to what's inside. She helped me to become real again. It was the best thing I ever did.
I told you a lot about Mac, about his absolute connection between the music and his dreams. I just don't know if anything is going to work with him.
Lalana speaks that language. She's a healer. She puts light on wounds and heals the soul.
I realize Molly is convinced that Lalana is the real thing. I hope you are right about her. I would help him myself. But I don't speak that language. Molly takes the last gulp of her wine and asks,
What language do you speak?
In response, I get closer to her and look down into her wine-glistening eyes. I place my hand to my forehead to shield my eyes from the moon to get a clear look at her, to deeply connect. As my hand settles, I can see her watching me intently, seeing everything from my fingertips to my eyes, which are focused on nothing but her. The air around us takes a pause. Molly nervously breaks eye contact and tries to take a sip from her already empty wine glass. She tosses her hair over her shoulder.
I understand.
She says and smiles very slightly, somewhat demure. She takes a deep breath and then grasps a lock of her hair and twirls it to ground herself.
Chapter 8. Lalana. Mac tours me around the house. He is very handsome when he smiles, but doesn't seem to realize how magnetic he can be. We move from the chef-inspired kitchen to the final room, Mac's sound studio. I can easily sense that this is the room that is most personal to him. I feel his anxiety. Look, we can skip this room if you like. Mac gets some ease from my comment.
We made a deal. I'm okay.
Tell me something about this room. I cautiously walk around it, taking in every nuance. I can sense that this room is the center place of his life.
It's a safe place. A creative place.
He pauses for a few moments and looks at the chaise lounge with the comfortable pillow where he probably sleeps when he dreams. Then he starts to look nervous and stammers.
It's comfortable.
I go near the chaise lounge but do not sit. I watch for his reaction. He really tenses up. This is the place. This location is where he spends his time. This is where he dreams. Is there anything that you are working on right now? I can see that he is relieved that I did not sit down. He offers me a seat near the control console.
Here, let me show you some things.
Mac begins manipulating the trackball, and the monitor screens light up the dim studio. It is beautiful. We are completely surrounded by golden shower trees with yellow blossoms falling all around us. It is like standing in a hologram of raining flowers. I stand up so that I can feel the energy of the blossoms. I slowly turn, arms outstretched in the rain of the yellow blossoms. Mac is taken aback. I can tell that he is feeling something deep. This is what I wanted, to connect with him on this kind of intimate level. I stop turning and face him. I take his hands and then turn round and round in the blossom shower with him. We almost trip on the cat. It breaks Mac from the trance. He really stiffens up, releases my hands, and steps back.
This doesn't feel right.
I stop twirling and let my hands down. We are both completely still as the blossoms continue to swirl and fall around us. We were dancing inside a womb you had made for yourself. I pause as our eyes lose their connection. The moment is lost. I hate cats.
Chapter 9. Mae Nak. The sunrise after a storm is always so beautiful. Everything that was wet now glistens with life. I can see Mac sitting on his front porch, looking down the slope toward the canal. The cat weaves in and out of the ground, cover and plants, seemingly enjoying the fresh beauty after the rain. He is climbing the driveway to Mac. Now Mac can see me approaching the house. I am wearing a simple sin skirt with a beautifully embroidered sash I had made myself. I love the traditional colors of this dress. I am hoping that he remembers many of these things too. Mac rubs his eyes. Does he think he is imagining me? The sun is just rising behind me. Maybe he can't see me through the glare. He starts down the path to meet me. My heart is beating out of my chest. When he reaches me, he calls my name. His voice cracks.
Hello.
He hesitates.
Hello, Na.
My sweet cat is with you again. He appears overwhelmed, seemingly lost in a maze of thought and emotion.
It's you. I was so much hoping to see you again.
His warm smile seals the sweet moment. Out of nowhere, a voice booms. It's a man standing on the front porch, shirt unbuttoned halfway, with two women in miniskirts stumbling around on the front deck barefoot, carrying their strappy heels above their heads. They look like they have been drinking all night. I look at Mac disapprovingly and wonder why this has happened. Tears well up in disappointment, not rage. Mac stammers.
It is not what it looks like. It's just my music producer.
He turns around and gestures to Niran, waving desperately for him to go away. Niran misunderstands and, with a smirky grin, waves back. Mac shouts,
Go away!
Niran shouts back.
I can't. Remember, you took my keys.
Mac reaches into his pocket and pulls out the keys. He turns to me to offer me the keys as an explanation for the stumbling embarrassment on his front porch, but I have already gone. I see him shaking them as I enter the jungle. I had hoped this moment would be different. I had to leave. I saw the same colors on the wind and symbols of things I have seen before. Do I repeat going down the endless road? It is best to walk away. Only the cat remains, his tail low and swishing back and forth, foreboding what is to come. The next evening, I was back in my boat, traveling down the canal, looking for a garden frequented by the Buddhist master. The river is alive with the sounds of the night, the wind, the birds, and the light rush of the river. Everything was happening in a way that seemed too familiar. I see him sitting alone in the dark, peaceful garden, silently Slowly I approach him in my broad-brimmed hat, dressed in simple clothes. I stand behind him silently and wait. The master rises and turns.
"No,
Teacher, he laughs a little.
may it be so tonight.
The master strolls to another part of the garden.
This garden was designed to get lost in,
He laughs.
to lose yourself in this world, to gain in another. I see that you have found me quite easily."
I do not reply. We both know what he says is true enough. This maze is the simplest of puzzles to someone like me. To me, there are thousands of colors of green and infinite messages in the wind. As I see this world around me, I know that he in turn sees me. How do I ask for guidance when he knows I am intimately familiar with guiding myself through so many lives? The master begins to walk, and I follow him.
Look at this grouping of flowered bushes.
He runs his fingers lightly through the spaces between them and bends down to take in the scent. Then he continues around a corner to a new grove of flowers and trees. It is stunning. We continue walking through the garden, seeing the varieties of flowers and trees. And then after a few more turns, he comes to a group of flowered bushes that look much like the grouping that he had first pointed out.
Oh, look, these are so similar to the ones I had first shown you. I think I am lost.
I bow deeply to him. I am thankful for this lesson. I have seen so many lives and so many similarities, the same riddles and puzzles. Everything always looks the same, but is not.
I have been to this garden often, and still it takes me some time to find myself inside it. It was designed to give similar impressions in different areas to fool the seeker that enters. I am sure that you understand this.
I bow in thanks. This is the simple wisdom of the puzzles that minds make when trying to connect similarities.
No, these things are the most obvious. It is what you have made unobvious that haunts you.
I bow again in thanks. The master continues.
I truly am a bit lost. Can you walk with me back to the river?
I smile in acknowledgement. We walk through the beautiful garden in silence. The smells are so sweet. This time it is a path that will lead me to a place I have never been.
Chapter 10. Mac. That night I lay awake in my bed. It is confusing to not know what you're feeling. Your thoughts and heart are lost, and all you are left with is exhaustion and a head that aches from not wanting to think about it. How can I dream when I can't relax? My attention shifts to the cat as it enters the room. I can feel something inside myself relax, knowing that thunder has returned. There is someone else in the room. Is it Niran again? Why did I give him a key? Niran always said it is unsafe to live alone with no one to check on you. I continue to ruminate about the past days. A candle illuminates the darkness. I see Na placing white candles throughout the room and lighting them. The bewilderment in my mind clears as I remember something familiar with Na. To Na, each different candle could bring different blessings. For her, white candles didn't only represent purity, but also symbolized new beginnings. She speaks softly.
We did not meet accidentally. We are the same, and we have met many times. Two waves that have met when the tide shifts every night, and then forget the night before. But I remember these meetings. I sense these moments, and know the tides will move again and again until we embrace the ocean together.
She lights the candles, waving her hands over them, making shadows on the walls.
Can you see it, Mac? It is not the flame. It is like the colors in your dreams, the colors that flow between hearts.
Na begins waving her hands in a traditional Lakan Thai dance. For the first time, I not only see, but now understand the movements of the hands. The candles show their fullness as their light joins the dance. The energies are ancestral. I can see them as easily as I can see her dance. As she sways near to me, she looks into my eyes and places rose petals on my body. The whole room is alive with her. I feel her emotions inside my body. Her silken touch joins us together. I feel an all-consuming pressure build inside of me, driving a desire I had never felt in this lifetime, but was somehow familiar with. I am confused. I had never dreamed this before. I have no control of what might come next. She places a basket on a nightstand containing a single orchid, which she had told me before was the flower of passion. I feel it opening my body to her as she presses against me and completes the dance. Her hair lies over my chest and frames my face. In this closeness, she is connected through my eyes straight into my heart. Her eyes have the depth of eternal pools, drawing me deeper and closer into her ocean. When she blinks, it is the music of crashing waves. I am lost, but I am whole, my arms wrapped, embracing and holding her as her fingers lightly touch my skin. I lose myself in what we are together. The moment is now and is everything. She flings her hair over her shoulder with a shake of her head, lifts herself a little to bring our bodies closer, and places her hand on my chest, her lips lightly touching my ear. She whispers,
I have always been here. I will never leave you. I will always find you where our dreams come true.
As we lie gazing, I helplessly drown in the deep pools of her eyes. Her heart I feel inside mine with my heart inside of her. A loving and so familiar unity in a timeless ocean.
Chapter 11, Niran. Friends have to have a special place. I like to take Mock to my special restaurant for Jim Jum. It is a secluded spot off the beaten path in a quiet alley. Everything here is traditional, including cooking in clay pots over a hot pottery furnace. The place is also well known for the best homemade dipping sauces in the province. This is our place, Mac. I never take women here on dates. It's our hideout where we can really speak our truth.
Time stands still here. We can be ourselves.
Exactly. Don't ever tell anybody about this place.
For sure.
We both get up to peruse the selection of fresh vegetables. We walk through a garden to gather the produce of our choosing. The open ceiling inside the restaurant connects you to nature for the perfect dining experience. 2 workers harvest and wash what we select and take immense pride in preparing food from the best ingredients. We need this. We had a pretty good night with the ladies, but you crashed so hard on us that morning. I know you. I know something went wrong.
It is difficult for me to discuss some things.
Mac's reply is evasive. Maybe it is because he has become unfamiliar with socializing. It was still a good first step. We gather mushrooms, Thai basil, and cabbage, and I go for my favorite dried chilies. Mac spots me and says,
Not too many of those.
I laugh. If you don't talk to me, these chilies will sweat it out of you. We return to the table and take turns adding the ingredients to the boiling pot, along with thinly sliced pork. With the pot filled, we stop and look at each other. The silence is a little uncomfortable, so I take the initiative. You were a bit rude in the morning. Almost mad, I'd say. That is, if I didn't know you better. You dropped the keys on the floor, made no eye contact, and walked into the house without a word. I understood the body language, I respected it, and got everyone out of there. But now I'm asking you, in this private place, what happened?
I saw her, the girl in my dreams.
That's great. She is your inspiration. I get it.
No, I don't think you do. I saw her in front of my house in real life. She is real. I was with her last night. She even knows the cat. It's just like in the dreams.
You're lucid, I insist. We went through this before.
You can't imagine these things. We have spent time together. She is very real.
I have done a great deal of reading on the subject for your sake. I will do anything to support you. I'm not saying it doesn't feel real or that it doesn't have meaning. It does. It's just that with you, the separation between dreams and real life is very blurred. Mac doesn't give up.
How do you explain the cat? It's the cat from the dream.
I know he really believes this stuff. I've put a lot of effort into trying to understand. Dreams can guide our lives. We learn from them. Some people even think that dreams are our only connection to our true selves, to eternity. Dreams are magical and symbolic, but a cat is just a cat.
I agree with most of what you were saying.
Your sleep-wake cycle is messed up. You see these things when you are awake. This isn't bad. You are just different from the rest of us.
How do we know what's real?
Now you're the one asking an impossible question. I take some of the sliced pork and put it into the boiling broth. Maybe it's just the ordinary things that are real, like this meal we are making together, or like the continued support of our production company so we can continue our good life.
So I didn't totally mess things up?
No, they both like you. Usually they both like me, but seriously, you really are a great guy. I picked you as my friend, and that means something. I think I just showed my soft side a little.
You're not going to hug me, are you?
Mac chides. Hug you, if I want to. Yeah. I place some sliced pork and vegetables onto Mac's plate. But I think I'll be okay just to feed you and hang out a bit. We both enjoy the fresh food. These dipping sauces are the best in Thailand. This is what it's all about. This is real. Me getting you out of that house now and then. It clears your mind to be with people. I think socializing has been good for you. Keep the momentum. I think big things are coming.
Chapter 12. Mac. We had searched for each other for so long, waiting for paradise, and now we lie inside it together. She walks in the tall, wet grass in the places we had gone before, accompanied by the music of the gently flowing river. Her beauty made spring flowers blush in envy as she glimmered in the morning sun. We dance in clouds of flowers barefoot on the banks of the river. I listen to the wind and hear the music. I dream I am not dreaming. I'll see you where dreams come true, she whispered to me. The music stayed with me from the long dreams that Na made with me. I always feel that she is there in a sense that is more than physical. I dream about life. I don't know how all of this works, but when I make music from what she shows me, the sense of knowing is unmistakable. Niran is happier than I have seen him in such a long time. He has set up a venue for an intimate outdoor festival with no admission, a true celebration. I insisted that we do it on the Phra Khanong Canal. These waters are sacred to me and Na. In every drop of its water, our eternity flows. This place is the heart that returns to us. The outdoor concert is perfect, so connected to nature and filled with so many local people. Everything is happening at once. Then time stands still. I see her in the crowd so easily. It is Na. She moves through the crowd, and wherever she goes, I can see her. I see her near Niran. She greets him. I can see him pause to notice her traditional clothing and wide-brimmed hat. Niran continues to move through the crowd. I will sing this to Na. I feel music in my head as I see her in the crowd smiling at me. It is time to debut our song. I'll see you where dreams come true. I sing it for her, and all the world can feel our love. The song closes out the set. I can feel it connected with the crowd. I see one of my bandmates talking to a nice lady. They are all smiles and chemistry, finding your person and sharing everything inside of you with them. If he finds what I have, he will have a magnificent life. They see I am looking their way. They both smile. I give my song credit. Niran is behind the stage with Mali and Lalana, along with several party guests. Niran proposes a toast.
My dreams come true.
I laugh. I know he always messes up the names of my songs on purpose. I want to talk to Niran so badly. He finally met Na. It's hard to get his attention with all of the people. I tell him, Niran, you met her. You met Na.
I met who?
You met Na. The girl in the broad-brimmed hat. That's her. It seems she didn't identify herself as the girl of my dreams. I guess it would be an awkward way to introduce yourself. Molly chimes in.
I love the song, and it definitely has legs.
And I love this guy right here.
Niran says with great joy. He gives me one of his patented big bro hugs and shakes me down. It almost kind of hurts because he is so strong, but it always feels the best. I scan the area for Na. I can't see her. I don't want to say anything, but I wish Molly and Lalana were not here. I wonder where Na is. Did she leave without saying anything? Molly says,
Let's get this song to the public, make a video. You guys are always good at that. I will do the rest.
Niran replies.
Of course.
He offers Molly a drink and she accepts. Niran says,
Enough business for tonight. This is a celebration.
Niran gives her a look. I can see that he makes her a little nervous. Maybe there is something developing between them. Lalana moves closer and congratulates me.
So happy that you were able to find your words and your music.
Thank you. I can see that she isn't done. From our past experience, I know she always has more to say. Some of it is insightful. Some of it can shake one up.
I can see that you connect with this place. I am having an event right here on the Phra Khanong. I came to yours. Now you can come to mine. It's only fair.
I don't know if it actually works that way. She is clever with her binding invitation. Molly enters the conversation.
It would mean a lot to me.
Niran gives me a look. I know he always backs me, but Molly represents the industry. Okay, sounds good. I'm in, I say. Everyone is happy. I excuse myself and walk out into the crowd searching for Na. I don't think she's here. I don't feel her.
Chapter 13. Lalana. The sun is about to set on a flat clearing atop the mountain road. Many locals in Thailand call this place Edge of the World because on one side of the canal you can see the beautiful city lights, and in the other direction you can see the full beauty of nature with majestic green landscapes, broadleaf trees, and gently winding waters. There are 5 people here busy setting up an area to gather. I call them Lalana people. They have been with me for a long time, and we have become a support system. I am wearing flowing white pants and a loose, long-sleeve top, all white, my priestess vibe. Some set firewood in a depression. Some place straw mats all facing the incline of the canal bank. All of the mats are arranged in a half circle facing a sukfa, which will be used by me to lead the event. Mak arrives a little late and parks to the side of the clearing with the other cars and scooters. He is a little overdressed for the event, given what you expect a man to wear to an elegant restaurant. His extra effort is sort of cute. I immediately bring Mac into the group with a warm hug. Welcome to this group. Think of them as messengers in human form. It is my hope that your soul speaks tonight. Mac simply says,
Nice.
Mac doesn't know what he should be doing, so he joins the people that are gathering wood for the fire pit. He politely says hello to the people in the group. Their gentle smiles and greetings put him at ease. One of the group lights the fire, as others settle onto the mats. I can see the glow of the fire reflecting in their eyes. I take my place on the sukpa and sit cross-legged at the front of the group. Behind me are several krathongs made from a slice of a banana tree, banana leaves, and flowers arranged in a circular pattern. At the end of the meditation, we will set them in the Phra Khanong like floating lotuses. Welcome to the Loi Krathong gathering beneath the shooting stars. All that I ask of you is to allow yourself to lighten your burden and renew your life, I announce. Mac sits on one of the mats, and I begin a guided meditation. I start with several simple instructions. The relaxed breathing, feeling the breath in the body. The energy in organs flows out to the fingertips and toes. I ask them to release as much energy as they can find in their body through the extremities of their hands and feet. To listen to and feel their own heart. I guide them with visual suggestions. I start by suggesting they imagine a place in nature where they feel safe and relaxed. Then I guide their thoughts to see all of the things that they had been doing today, this week, this month. All of the thoughts, the intuitions, the hopes, the regrets. I ask them to release it into the space around them, to imagine it hovering all around. Then I instruct them to imagine a figure in the distance, very far away, separated by time and reality as we know it. Imagine the figure coming toward them and slowly taking form. Imagine it walking right through all of the thoughts, intuitions, hopes, and regrets, yet none of it actually touches this being. I instruct everyone to look into the eyes of the mirror and receive what they see. Mac's eyes are strangely glazed over. He is completely in a trance state. It is really getting to him. Hold in that moment, feel it, let it pass into you, and fill all the spaces where you released your energy. Awaken your body slowly. Feel your heart, your breath, and the energy flowing inside of you. And finally, when you are ready, slowly open your eyes. The entire group looks refreshed. I can see Mac's eyes begin to register what is around him. "How do you feel?" I calmly ask. The group answers with a variety of affirmations. "Anucha, please share with us what you experienced." Anucha smiles and begins in a warm, serene tone.
I always felt most tranquil at the beach at sunset. So that is where I imagine myself walking in the sand, listening to the music of the waves as the night descended into the water's horizon. I love sunsets. I could see the figure coming toward me and walk through all of the thoughts and emotions that are weighing on me in my present life. When he got closer, I could see who it was. It was me, 10 years in the future. I was confident and strong, unburdened of troubles, as I am in my present life. I looked into his eyes, and I could feel him telling me that I was going to be okay. We embraced, and I felt the energy of what I am.
I am so pleased with Anucha. I handed Anucha a small pad of paper and asked him to write his present and past troubles onto a paper and to place it into one of the krathongs. Mak seemed nervous and did not come forward with his story. The next participants told their experiences of the meditations. They were all similar. Each met their future self, which was free of the daily burdens each carries in daily life. Each wrote their past troubles onto the papers and placed them into the krathongs. Mak, please share your experience with the group. Mak reveals his experience.
I am near a river, and the air was filled with yellow blossoms. It was springtime, and the day was endless, like the sun would never set. In the distance, I saw a figure. I already knew it would be her.
I predicted this with Mac. His obsession disguises as love, ego unable to admit delusion.
As the figure got closer and closer, I could feel my heart filling with the weight of stars. The figure was Na. When she looked into my eyes and pressed against me, there was a divine unity that cannot be expressed, spirits recognizing each other untouched by time. I have known her forever.
I asked Mac to write his experience onto a paper and place it into a krathong. He wrote on the paper, his eyes wet with emotion. He quietly folded the paper and kissed it softly before putting it into the krathong. I then nodded to Anucha. He set a candle and an incense stick into each krathong. I looked out at the group. Tonight, there will be a cosmic event, a once-in-this-lifetime meteor shower. Meteors carry cosmic energy that burns and transforms as it enters our world. I wave my hand toward the sky, and as if on cue, the meteors start to become visible as they enter the atmosphere. Then I wave my hand over the krathongs. Meteors burn and transform into light when they enter our world. When these candles burn, the papers that you placed in the krathong will sink into the canal and become the fertilizer for a new lotus flower. This is the work of transformation. Mac inappropriately interrupts.
I didn't meet my future self in the meditation. I met my eternal love. I don't want to sink that memory to fertilize a lotus.
She is your muse, your inner projection. It is a female archetypal fantasy. A dream, I explain to him. Mac stiffens. His defense builds.
She is no dream.
You have been sleepwalking. You are not present in your real life. Does everyone agree? The people in the group all raise their hands and look at Mac, hoping that he understands the message.
I don't want to burn and transform what we have into anything.
I try to clarify to him what he's feeling. You have projected your unlived soul into a dream. You are preparing for a real life, but you are not living it. You are provincial. You choose the known over the unknown. You choose your dreams and fantasies because you can control them. The woman in your dreams is a projection, at best a ghost. You never knew her. Burn the dream and wake your soul. I nod to Anucha. Anucha lights the candles and incense sticks in the krathongs.
No, this is not right for me.
Mac insists. Mac, you're not getting it. This ceremony burns away the past and falsehoods that bind us. Watch your krathong float down the canal, and if the candle does not go out before it is out of sight, your new life will begin. I nod to Anucha, who places the krathongs into the canal with their candles reflecting in the dark, gently churning waters. With hope and joy in their hearts, the group members all watch the krathongs appear as beautiful lotuses as they float gently down the canal. Mac's expression tells me his breath has left his heart. Everything turns inward for him. His mind retreats. He puts his hands over his face to shield his eyes. This will be part of his transformation. I know this is the best thing for him. I think he is going lucid on me as his eyes glaze over. He shouts,
My life is burning. I have to get out. I have to get out.
He stands straight up and looks toward his krathong moving down the canal. The candle is still lit as it drifts further and further into the dark distance. Just before Mac's krathong is out of sight, a midnight black crow swoops down and grasps the floating representation of Mac's memories in its talons and carries it into the meteor-streaked night sky. Mac shoots up and leaps over the small fire, kicking some of the firewood and sending out hot fragments as everyone scatters. Mac's pant leg is on fire. He lies down, and I calmly put the fire out. The whole scene finally quiets down as the meteors continue to brighten the sky with fiery brushstrokes. I gently stroke Mac's hair, holding him like a mother protecting a child. I address everyone. This happens. Doing this work of transformation is not something that happens in calm waters. Sometimes something so big happens that it sucks the very air out of the sky. Tonight is that night for Mac. Then I stood up. All of your bad energy will be at the bottom of the canal where it may renew. Take with you the things that are new. Go home and see with new eyes each new moment. I look at Mac. I'll drive you home. What you experienced is still happening inside you. You can't drive right now. Then I toss Mac's keys to Anucha. Please drop his car at my house. So much just happened to Mac. He isn't sure of anything. The fires in the sky remind him of something. He wants off the edge of the world. It is not a good time for him to be alone.
Chapter 14. Mae Nak. The midnight black crow swoops down into a clearing on the banks of the Phra Khanong carrying a krathong. The large crow caws at me, and I understand his message. I retrieve the krathong, and with a great flap of its wings, the crow departs into the backdrop midnight sky as it extinguishes the flames of dying meteors. I use the light of the candle to read the notes. The gentle wind and moonlight brush my face. I look out toward the slow-flowing waters of the canal as I tuck the messages that are filled with Mac's love for me into my pocket. I put the Khanong back into the canal where it will sink to the bottom and be forgotten. The messages I carry from Mac will be with me forever. I look to the sky and see the meteors. I am not laughing at the storm that seems to find Mark and Na tonight. I will do what must be done.
Chapter 15. Niran. Centuries have passed, but nothing ever really goes away. It passes from one life to the next through imprinted dreams, which find their way into the flesh of generations. I was having such a dream. The story is told in images and colorful emotion about the fear and hate that took over the energies of a village. "She is a ghost," they shouted. "The house must be burned. Burn it. Burn everything. Burn the ghost." People they once shared their lives with were driven mad with superstition and fear. Using my intuition, I knew that this was Mock and the woman Mac loved. The pain of that day was crushing my chest with sorrow. This shifting through deep landscapes of sorrow and despair can only be experienced in nightmares. A universe is dying. Everything is shades of black, char, and decay. There is dust and destruction here. I am inside this world and sucked deeper until I feel what is being destroyed. It is a heart of immense proportion, and it is being devoured by mindless demons. They are silent, emotionless creatures only capable of destruction. This universe I sense was once immense, maybe limitless, and now it crumbles. Spires and temples built in homage to love are dismantled and crumble to a silent death. I awaken feeling sadness and terror. Though I am not a dreamer, I felt someone close to me was in pain. I feel my chest. There is a physical hot stabbing weight. This dream was too real for me. I need to get out, get fresh air, clear my head. My first instinct was to check on Mac. I wondered if this vividness was what Mac experienced all the time. The morning sun was melting the dew as I arrived at Mac's house. Everything looked normal here. I always loved the serenity of Mac's house. Yes, this is what I needed. My best friend to make everything feel calm and cool. Using my key, I let myself in as I had done so many times before. As I step inside, I tense up. Someone is here. And it isn't Mac. I deepen my voice. "Who is in here?" Out trots Lalana, wearing nothing but a white men's dress shirt, her long legs bare, her hair disheveled as if she had just gotten out of bed. She goes to the kitchen, ignoring my question. She turns her back to me and tilts from one side to the other, searching cabinets for something, stretching and extending her sexy legs as the shirt hikes up with her movements. It's getting on my nerves. "Lalana, this is not what I signed up for. I give you access to a very sensitive man who is my best friend, and I find you in his house half naked, acting like you own the place. Again, what do you think you are doing here?" Lalana turns and smiles.
Wow, okay. Sorry for whatever you are thinking. I am getting a couple of drinking glasses from the cupboard. Mac had a very impactful evening. I would actually call it a breakthrough.
"What kind of breakthrough?"
He couldn't sleep and kept shouting, "My house is burning. Everyone is burning my house. Why? Leave us alone. It is raining fire." He was basically doing the lucid thing. Half the time his eyes were open. A bunch of symbolic nightmare stuff.
I had the same dream. This is awful. I don't like how flippant she is about Mac. I am getting a bad feeling from her. She ends with,
I finally had to give him an anti-hallucinogen to get him to sleep, and now I am bringing him water. He is exhausted.
"So you gave him a roofie?" Lalana laughs. I give her a very serious look. She laughs with more and more intensity, looking straight into my eyes. I am really getting pissed with her superiority act. She just keeps laughing. I'm ready to snap and about to scream, being completely freaked out by these dreams, and now enraged with her. I break down, like the energy inside me needs to come out somehow. I start laughing wildly, out of control. All of my emotions are pouring out. I guess it's better than shoving her smug butt out of her chair. I think she hates me too. Somehow this is funny. We laugh at each other like it's something we can't stop, like hiccups. After a couple of minutes of intense laughter, we both calm down.
Come on, you are such an absolute fool.
I snap back. You think you know more than you do about everything that is going on here. In spite of your fancy talk, you don't have a clue.
You are a good friend to him. I get that part. We hate each other right now for different reasons, and the energy had to get out. Better to laugh than fight.
I agree with a nod of my head. Another brilliant deduction. We both hear a bass guitar coming from the studio, repetitively playing a series of chords. Mac must be awake. It's not from his old music. This is excellent. Lalana smiles.
Like I said, breakthrough.
She makes me tea and sits across from me, casually folding one of her legs onto her lap.
Last night, we did a simple guided meditation to connect each person to their true present self, the individuation of the self, free of the chains of the past that bind us. Very simple stuff. For most, this is always a positive experience. Mak was different. He holds his repeating dreams in a place that is very sacred to him.
We both knew that going in. I talked about this with Molly. This is something we all have to deal with, and also respect.
It's a nightmare that he cannot escape, and it spills over into every aspect of his life. It's affecting everyone around him. It definitely has affected you, and I feel it too.
I feel my body ease a little. My opinion of Lalana has always been that she is very attractive, and that look gives her extra credibility in her professional life coaching endeavors. I see this same quality in myself. I know that my look and the manner in which I carry myself bleed over into other areas of credibility, but now I see that she seems to be speaking very straight with me. Something I can respect. I relax the tension in my body. I had a hell of a night last night. Mac is the dreamer, but last night I had the nightmare of nightmares. I sensed it had something to do with Mac. The music continues to bleed out of the studio. A bass guitar repeating new chords with the same emotional inflection. Let's go see how he is. Lalana picks up a glass of water. We both go into the studio to find Mac, playing his bass guitar in the dark. I approach him. Hey Mac, you okay there sitting in the dark all by yourself? Mac stops for a moment, looks at me and answers,
Good to see you.
Are you okay? You're not hungover or anything like that. Mac calmly replies,
Everything is fine. I feel the song starting to take shape.
Lalana pulls the curtain that covers the room's single window aside, allowing light into the room, probably to see Mac's face and make sure he is okay. She leaps back, nearly falling from the surprise of several large jungle crows on the windowsill staring into her eyes. Several others peck the top of her car with their hard beaks. They caw loudly at the sight of her. She has no way to deal with what she is seeing. She is emotionally shaken, almost falling. I pull the curtain shut. In response, the crows increase their pecking on the glass with their large bills. Mak continues to repeat the chords on his bass guitar. The two sounds blend in eerie harmony, reminding me of last night's mystical dream.
Chapter 16. Mac. I feel the chains of a dream I cannot escape. I see colors and feel as I always do, but I don't have control. This world smells of dirt, death, and desperation. My only hope in this world is to move and try to escape. I understand why I am here. The war during the mid-18th century Siam. Na had told me so many times what would happen. That tradition and honor are hollow premises that ask for so much, but give nothing back aside from misery and personal loss. She once told me that honor does not transcend death, but eternal love has no death. I feel a bullet in my belly, and its size, and the rip that seems to allow life itself to escape my body. While I desperately try to cover the hole with my hands, my body is cold even though my blood is hot. My lips tremble, and I think only about Na and our child. Then my dream moves against my will, and I see Na lying in her own blood, and the newborn child with no one to care for him, and the heavy rains that never end. This tragedy of being so alone at a time of need. I could see the loneliness and desperation. She is so weak. I cry tears that will never expel the anguish that collapses my heart. The dream shifts. Now Na is here at my side. She has come to me in the moment to say goodbye, but is she really here, placing her hands on my stomach, extracting the bullet and sealing my wound? Is she healing me on this shameful field of battle? I don't know how this is happening. She says to me what she has said so many times.
I will always take care of you. I will always be here where our dreams come true.
She places her hand on my heart, and with the lightest tenderness, her lips kiss my tears.
Chapter 17. Lalana. I am grateful for most people, but today my car has been pecked. Niran is a pushy simpleton, and Mak is such a beautiful waste of a man. I sometimes get so angry with the people that I try to help. I don't know what is going on with Mak. He has a confused spirit. I understand him and what happens to him. I distrust Niran and lately would like to exterminate some birds. What is it about these dreams he has? It seems that he has a confused mind. Maybe there is schizophrenia. He is interesting and not yet annoying. I can't help but to want to see him again. If he wasn't so spun up with his fantasy overthinking, I am sure something would have happened for us last night. I admit that I stayed up most of last night. My hormones were on fire with no release. I am going to sleep well tonight. I lay in my bed still wearing Mac's shirt. I think that man has serious mental problems not to notice my body. The thought of it is exhausting. My head hits the pillow in resignation. And soon after that, the dream comes. I am at my edge of the world ritual. I see the meteors, and I see all of the people on their mats in front of the fire. This time, I can see the pain of the unresolved, the things that they wrote in their notes. I remember the man who said that he saw his future self, strong, confident, and unafflicted with burdens. He imagined himself free of his weak persona, his people-pleasing, his reflections of his mother complex, and his invisible life. He imagined himself as a dynamic man living in his own power. I watched them all imagine themselves as strong, a strength coming from weakness, from doing simple affirmations. I wondered if they believed what they told themselves. Affirmations are the lies that the weak tell themselves in hopes of a better tomorrow. I have made all of these people in the group into my people to do with as I please. They are mine and will follow as I lead, or they will suffer. Glowing yellow eyes watch them as they bleed out their weakness. It is the blood, as well as the fear, that feeds the tiger. The tiger leaps out into the midst of them and scatters them about with the sheer power of its presence. They scatter like mice. The tiger chases them through the jungle, toying with them, knocking them around to build their fear, tearing at them as they panic and run. Some of them go into the river where the Krathongs took their past trauma to let it sink into the water. How ironic that they find themselves in that same river. The tiger is at the side of the river watching them thrashing in water, scared, but thinking themselves safe. It feels an elation doing what it has done. The tiger looks down, and through its snout can smell the sweat of desperation. I stare down at the tiger's paws and see my own hands and arms bathed in fresh blood. I woke up. Yes, this was a dream. My dream. Many would wake up shaken. I am calm. I think to myself, why did I have this dream? I really don't care. But to me, this meant nothing. I wasted a day of my life trying to help people. This dream was nothing but unresolved disappointment. I am glad that I was the tiger, but it is the only thing I could be in such a dream. I think Mac is dreaming of a ghost. Ghosts are low-energy, non-manifestations that play games. This game has started, and I will end it.
Chapter 18. Mak. Niran has a surprise for me today. a boat ride on the Phra River. Watching Niran captain the boat is half the fun. He really thinks he is an expert at everything. We are supposed to go to the floating market for lunch, which is very nice. If Niran treated his women as well as he treats me, he would be married with 6 children. Niran gives me a look.
I know the meteor night was choppy, but it shook you up and got you moving again. The new song is the best work you have ever done. It's truly a timeless ballad.
I am delighted that Niran is happy. He doesn't realize it, but when he isn't like this, he can be kind of tough to be around, but today I remember why he is the best friend I could hope for. We made a deal that we will both try new food, so today we experiment with the tasty cuisine we find at the riverfront markets. It's fun and we share everything. Good friend energy all around. I asked Niran if he can take me to the Khanong canal. I want to show him the place where I met Na in the little boat. I want him to see what I've seen. He agrees and we head to the canal. It looks so different in the daytime. The same trees are there. The jungle crows are there, but they don't seem to be paying any attention to us. Maybe it is the sound of the boat's motor that keeps them back. I wonder when Na will come back. And I mean when, not if. I'm still having the dreams, and I know the dreams are from her. I see through her eyes. Connections like that do not end. I ask Niran if he can smell that something has burned here. He says that he cannot. I know that something happened here in the past. It's a sensation like when you know a pain is coming, you automatically clench your teeth. There is a memory here. I asked Niran to take me to the temple just down the canal. Na told me that if I could not find her, then I should go there. Niran agrees. I think he would agree to anything today. We take off down the canal with high hopes. I need Niran on my side in this situation. The temple comes into view. Not particularly large, but very traditional and beautiful. We find a nearby dock and are soon making our way to the temple. I feel strange, like I am entering a dream while I am awake, like I am crossing the veil from one place into another. I don't tell Niran this because that kind of talk leads him to getting people to study my brain and try to medicate me. A young monk heads toward us, which I find to be a bit unusual. They usually don't approach a couple of guys that look like sightseers. He greets us. Niran and I bow in greeting. He motions with his hand toward the temple. It is very nice to be invited like this. Makes it feel less mystical. I want to ask him about Na, if he knows her. There is an older monk near the entrance. He carries himself differently. I notice that the young monk calls him Master. He watches me take off my shoes and ascend to the temple. Before I enter, he stops me.
Greetings, Mark.
He must know now and is expecting me, but how would he know what I look like? I stop and greet him. This is fortunate to come to a temple and be greeted like this. He then turns his attention to Niran.
I also know of you.
Niran returns the greeting and bows.
I see one man that can learn much from intuition, and another that has come in search of someone.
Niran and I bow in thanks. This is the right place, she had said. Go to the temple to find me. This feels right.
Mac, please stay with me.
The master gestures for Niran to enter the temple.
The bonds of consciousness are carried forward in many forms. Know this when you cross the threshold. Mac, I know you have come here in search of Na. For generations she has loved you.
And I love her.
She has something that she must do herself. When it is done, you will find her. When you find her, it will be time for both of you to enter the temple together.
Hearing this, I bow in thanks and descend the temple steps to wait for Niran to exit the temple.
Chapter 19. The Temple. A temple is a holy place consecrated with energies that are more than just of this world, a bridge between them, just as the heart in each person can be such a bridge. Many enter, some enter it and are unchanged. For others, the veil opens. Niran enters. His eyes instantly widen and he freezes as if all air is suddenly pulled from the room. He stares agape at a full-size portrait of Na that is hundreds of years old, and there are several other pictures of her around the room in traditional clothing and a shrine of her holding a baby. His mind races as he cannot comprehend his own thoughts. The young monk enters the temple. He can see Niran stepping back a few steps from the pictures.
Are you okay, sir?
Niran pauses and stares.
Who is that woman in the paintings?
It is Lady Na.
Niran is in disbelief.
Who or what is Lady Na?
She lived in the 18th century and loved a man so much that she refused to leave him even after death.
Niran stares for a few moments at the full-size portrait as if he can't believe what his eyes see. The woman in the painting resembles the woman in the broad brim hat, especially her eyes, which appear to be looking back at him. Niran exits the temple and descends the stairs. He is trying to look as composed as he can. Usually he is exceptional at maintaining composure, but right now he looks like a man who has seen a ghost. The air returns to the temple and to Niran. The temple is unchanged. For Niran, everything has changed.
Chapter 20. Mock. The next day, Niran has me on his boat again. He is my stability, my anchor to what's real. There are no ordinary days. Not that what I want is ordinary. Sleeping most of my life away is not what I want. I have left the safe place, and now where is it going? I am glad he is with me. Today he is unusually silent. Maybe it is a surprise, because as he accelerates down the coastline toward Krabi, home to 150 islands, I know that we are not staying local. We had talked about scouting locations for the video shoot. Maybe this is the destination. He looks over his shoulder a couple of times and smiles. As we get near to the islands, he slows the boat so we can enjoy the breathtaking scenery, the majestic and ancient rock formations of all shapes, and everything so alive and colorful. Again, he just smiles, no words. He anchors the boat just past a lagoon, and we hop into a smaller boat to motor to shore. It is a breathtaking beach and completely isolated. We walk up the sandy beach barefoot and turn to look out at the gigantic rock formations jutting out from the turquoise water. Niran looks out over the glistening water.
This is our beach. We can film the music video here at this beach. The two lovers on this beach looking out into the water. Does it inspire you?
Yes, this is the location. There are so many possibilities here.
This will be the fun part for us. You did the work. The music is better than ever. You have continued to grow. At times, I feel I pushed you a bit hard. For that, I'm sorry.
That's our dynamic. You do things differently. You see differently. You help me in that way.
I'm happy to hear that. There's more to see.
Niran gestures for me to follow. We walk up the beach toward jagged and imposing rock formations against the backdrop of sheer limestone cliffs. We weave our way into the stone labyrinth and eventually to a natural rock grotto and small lagoon. It feels nice to be surrounded by all of this ancient stone and water, completely away from civilization and its expectations. Amazingly, there is a table set up in a cleared area with a chef who has prepared an arrangement of delicacies waiting for us. Niran gestures for me to take a chair, and the chef serves us food and drink. Then he retreats to give us privacy.
These past several weeks have me questioning everything I believe.
I have been thinking the same thing. These dreams have been with me since I was 4 years old, maybe even earlier. But they were only dreams. And then there was the music, but now things have gotten real. I want what I dream to be real.
I truly don't know how to respond to that. I know now that trying to figure it out logically is where I get lost.
I understand. I see things that you do not.
I see them too. Even I have dreams.
Yes, but you only met Na for a moment. I have shared days with her. You know that I dream and see dreams when I'm awake. It makes sense that you hesitate to know what I see. We both pause and take a drink. The food is delicious. All local seafood and even tom kha soup with fresh-caught shrimp. I am always amazed by Niran's creative dining.
Let's do nothing more than enjoy this place and this food.
We have been through a lot lately. The sun will be setting soon. It was a great day. So much lies ahead of us. I know that Niran is okay, the music is back, and that I will find Na. She is my life. We finish the last of the food, and both look out toward the low-hanging sun.
I'm sorry I didn't believe you about Na. I'm sorry I put you on medicine and made you see doctors. It wasn't my place to do that.
I think it all worked out.
I think that I was the one who should have been on medicine. I really believed that I was infallible this whole time, but I have seen things now that make me question.
As Niran speaks, I feel uncomfortable with his apologizing. He should never feel a need to apologize for his protective nature. I admire him for it. Until we all sit down together and spend a day, it makes sense to question.
I'm going to pull back. Give you the space you need, Mac.
You can't be serious, Niran. I need you.
You will be okay.
Without you, nothing works. I can most definitely mess things up.
It's that intuition the monk told me to follow. I know you will be able to do everything you need to do, and when you need me, I'll be around.
We both stand and walk several steps toward the lagoon to watch the sunset. Niran grabs at me in that familiar fashion. It's his patented big hug. It kind of crushes me a bit, but right now it makes sense. I look over his shoulder and see the sun dipping into the water as it sets. Then, as it blinks out of view and gives that last furious burst of light, Niran releases his grip.
This isn't goodbye. It's letting go.
The sun disappears into the horizon.
Chapter 21, Mae Nak. I'm going to have my baby, and I do not want to be alone. I float down the swollen Phra Khanong canal in my small boat to the temple with only my broad-brimmed hat to protect me and my child. It is the monsoon season, and the water runs swiftly. My cat sits at the prow of the boat looking forward. I have learned so much in this life. I will not be alone when I have my baby, the baby I always wanted with Mac. I can see the temple close ahead. I can barely steer my little boat in this strong current. I come in fast with my boat sliding up the wet bank of the river and turning sideways. I roll out of the boat, losing my treasured hat. My cat leaps out of the boat and makes a dash toward the forest. One of the monks sees me and rushes to assist me. I am half covered in mud and unsure of anything. He helps me to my feet, and I can see that it is the young monk I had met before. He smiles and reassures me that I will be okay. He retrieves my hat, somehow knowing it is special to me. With the monsoon beating down on us, the walk to the dwelling area near the temple seems to take an excruciatingly long time. Once inside, he dries me and sets me on a bed with fresh towels. He tells me to wait while he goes for help. I can see the jungle crows have braved the downpour and have decided to enter the temple grounds. They stand statue-like in the rain, looking toward the small dwelling.
Chapter 22, Mac. I'm in my studio looking out the window at the heavy rains. The leaves on the trees sag with the relentless beating. Heavy rains like this give me a sense of danger. Everything is saturated, and then I see something out there. It's Thunder Boy running up the drive path, soaking wet like the day I first found him. I rush to let him in. I open the door, and he is standing there so wet I can see his bones. I invite him in, but he does not move. It seems that he doesn't want to come in, but that he wants me to come out into the rain. I step out onto the porch, and he turns. wanting me to follow him. It is coming down hard, so I go back inside to get a rain jacket. I pause. I remember when Niran promised me that he would be there for me no matter the outcome with Na. I quickly selected my favorite phone number and called him. Niran, it's me, Mac. The cat is back. It came to my house again during this storm. It wants me to follow him.
Is the cat still there?
Every time I say I see something, people throw doubt at me. I go back to the door and look out. The cat is still there waiting. I'm looking at him right now. It's just like the dreams. The cat always finds me. I know something is happening right now.
Mac, let's do this together. The weather is horrible. Let me do this with you, and we can get this resolved.
Hurry. Standing on the porch with my wet cat, I look down the drive, waiting for Niran. The cat keeps looking at me. I get the impression that he thinks I don't understand him. He walks off the porch several times, waiting for me to follow, but I am going to do this right and wait for Niran. Finally, a car comes up the drive in the heavy downpour, but it's not Niran. It's Lalana. Where is Niran? I rush to the car. Where is Niran?
He got stuck. We need to go get him. Get in. Get in.
I think about Thunderboy left behind on my porch. Everything is going wrong right now. What about the cat?
What cat?
I look to the porch and see Thunderboy is gone. Things are going wrong. Why did Niran call her? It's getting complicated and I'm starting to get angry, which is an unusual feeling for me. I need to talk to Niran. She pushes the passenger door open. I think for a second and then get in. We spin around and head down the drive. I half expect to see Na standing in the rain with her wide-brimmed hat. I am completely confused. We get out onto the public road and we begin to follow the highway near the river. The banks are overrun with water coming much closer to the highway than usual. I see a black sedan coming toward us in the rain. Is it Niran? I can't see through this rain. Lalana is driving too fast for the weather conditions. I have no idea where we are going. It is starting to feel off. She is looking straight ahead, ignoring everything but the road and whatever she is thinking. In a cold, expressionless manner, she finally speaks.
First thing, there is no Na. If there is a Na, she is a ghost. I know these things if you allow yourself to listen. There are no other worlds, past lives, or magic cats. Your best friend cannot help you. You cannot help yourself, and you need help. I can help you. I have tried to help you.
Lalana is staring straight ahead, talking in short, clipped sentences. I realize that she is trying to take command of the situation. I feel like a captive. I am not buying into it. Where is Niran?
I don't expect you to listen. Really listen. You are completely unaware that you are living in the psychic prison you call your dreams. Your dream is a symbol of your unresolved pain. You dream of love, but never experience love. You have to confront your dreams and shatter them to live in your power.
I can see her phone vibrating in her center console. I know it's Niran. Why don't you answer it? Lalana ignores me. She is arrogant and self-righteous, which is okay with me. Her ignoring me and driving me to wherever she wants has crossed the line with me. Where are we going?
You went to the cleansing ritual. We did everything correctly, and then your clinging to your disappearing soul identity came back. The insistence you have that your real and only life happens in your dreams. We have to do everything over again.
She turns toward the river in the raging storm. I think I know where we are going. The edge of the world clearing near the Phra Khanong canal. I look into the back seat and can see a Krathong. She is crazy to bring me to the canal in a raging storm. She hands me a pad of paper and a pen.
Write everything you dream about onto the paper.
I want to just laugh in her face, but it's the wrong time. You are way out of control. She grabs the paper and pen from me and begins to write.
It doesn't matter. I will write them and read them to you as they wash down the swollen canal.
You don't know my dreams.
But I do. I know everything about your dreams and your ghost from your friend Niran.
The betrayal of my private conversations with Niran stings, but I know this is the intended effect. I sit in silence and watch this woman that most would think is very beautiful, showing her true aggressive and ugly nature. I let her finish in silence while I silently text Niran. Lalana has lost it. She is taking me to the edge of the world. Come get me. I put my phone away quickly. She gets out of the car in the raging downpour with the Khanong. She shouts to the heavens.
This is the unresolved trauma of Mak.
She takes the Khanong out to the water's edge and says,
Let go of this ghost that haunts you.
I'm done laughing inside at this maniac guru. I decide to upset the ritual. I never let this woman into my life, and she has invaded everything that is private and sacred to me. It is enough that you brought me here against my wishes, but you assume too much by invading the sacred space of my private life. This is not going to happen. I swipe the Khanong from her hands. She grabs the Khanong back from me and flings it into the swollen canal, shouting,
Death of illusions!
Impulsively, I dive for the Khanong. I want to rip it apart and then get out of here. The water is moving much faster than I thought. How stupid that I tried to grab the Khanong. Now I'm going downstream fast. There is a grouping of trees that normally aren't underwater, but the swollen river has extended its shoreline. I need to get to shore before I get tangled in the debris and undergrowth. Too late. I hit the tree line. I manage to grasp a fallen branch that is caught in the undergrowth. I can't let go, or I'm done. I can see a jungle crow in a nearby tree watching me. I think about Na. It is beginning to feel like a dream. I cry out for Na, but only the jungle crows hear me. I am pulled under the branch. I can't see. I only feel rushing water pulling me down with unrelenting power. I hang on as strength fades. My lungs ache as I let out air. Everything slows down. My mind clears. It's like my dreams. I am free of fear and panic. My mind and heart fill only with eternal love for Na. My lungs fail, but I will not succumb. I refuse to die. I pull myself up onto the branch and draw in my first breath. I am not alone. I see the vigilant jungle crows holding fast to branches in stone silent defiance to the heavy monsoon. She knows.
Chapter 23. Niran. As quickly as I can, I wind my car through the wet streets to the edge of the world clearing. There is another car there, and a woman standing in the rain staring into the canal. I get out of my car and tramp through the mud and rain to find Lalana standing by herself, looking out into the canal. Mak said she lost it. Maybe she's having a mental breakdown. I can deal with that later. Right now, I need to find my best friend. I wave at Lalana to get her attention. It is raining so hard I don't know if she sees me yet. Lalana. She turns around, and I instantly don't like the bewildered expression on her face. Where is Mac? She points to the canal with a blank look on her face. Alarms go off. What is she trying to tell me? He is in the water. What are you saying? I don't see him.
I brought him here for you because you said he was seeing the ghost again. So I made him a Khanong, like the one that he said the crow stole to make sure that the ghost energy got drowned in the canal.
Are you freaking crazy?
Mac is the child of his own unresolved issues. He fantasizes and manifests illusions, ghosts, and past lives in his dreams. He will continue to relive this unacknowledged, self-generating pain and live in an unaware mental prison until he faces his inner serpents.
I look straight at her. Again, where is Mac?
I don't know.
You use words and phrases that people don't understand. You talk about unresolved this or that and regaining power and think you are a life expert. I don't care about all of that. Once more, where is Mac? Her answer is stone-faced, her tone deadpan.
He washed down the canal.
A crow flying in the downpour swoops over my head and lands on my car. It is time to follow my intuition. You are cold, self-serving, and heartless. People that follow you think what you want them to think, or do what you want them to do. These are the people that show you your truth. The ugly truth is that you really don't know anything except the cruelty of your absolute need to control and be admired. You will never get this from Mac. He is fine just the way he is. Stay away from my friend. Lalana stands there in the rain, staring blankly at the canal, looking lost.
His house. His house must burn to rid himself and the world of the ghost.
She has lost it. I don't have the patience or time to talk to her any longer. I look to my car and see the jungle crow standing on the hood. Then I run to my car and jump in soaking wet. I drive my car in the worst monsoon this season, following a crow. As crazy as this may sound, I know this is exactly what I should do right now.
Chapter 24. Buddhist Master. A jungle crow lands on top of the dwelling where Mae Nak is laboring with the birth of her child. I enter with 2 women to help with the childbirth. Childbirth is not usual in the temple grounds, but this situation has great importance. This is Mae Nak. Generations have passed, and the karmic cycle is upon us as surely as the rains in monsoon season. The other monks bow as I enter. Mae Nak continues to labor in great anguish. I hear the jungle crow squawking on the rooftop. She calls out his name over and over, choking on tears. The crow is agitated and caws repeatedly to her. She understands the meaning and the immediate danger Mac faces alone in this storm. I look down at her in her bed. I see her tears. I know Mae Nak. I have known her for such a long time. She reaches for my hand and begins to have a past life dream. In this life, the crows speak to her. The monsoon soaks her house. She had Mac's child in a previous life, and the pain is great. The women helping her are nervous. She screams, but it is not the pain of birth. Mac is on a battlefield, dead soldiers all around him being picked up like firewood and thrown onto carts. Mac is alive but wounded badly in the stomach. He stumbles and crawls to a nearby tent. The jungle crows watch, as they always do, witnessing all things physical and spiritual. Mae Nak sees Mac in his critical moment, and she goes to him. She soothes him. She heals his wound. Mac thinks maybe he is dreaming. He passionately calls out her name. She caresses him, and his pain goes away. She heals him, and he passes out. Then she softly puts her lips to his ear and whispers,
I will always be here where our dreams come true.
Meanwhile, in this past life, during childbirth, her life force seems to have left her, and she dies with her child. After she has made this terrible sacrifice for her love of Mac, her untethered spirit wanders this realm. This I understand in a way that cannot be explained. Now I hold her hand and can see what she sees. Mac is once more in present danger. The swollen river is trying to push him under the log. He calls to her over and over. It is an instinct he has not forgotten through lifetimes. Mae Nak needs to understand the riddle that she has faced so many times. I know you are not completely here.
You know my secret.
I nod. Yes.
You know I am not a ghost, but I am not fully here in this body. I see Mac. I see everything, all of the worlds. I have to go to him. You know I must do this. You know it is the choice that I have made in this world, and by the karma in its winds, I will make it again.
Mae Nak, you are as weak as the old man who sits before you. You know what will happen. Your love is eternal. It gives you great spiritual power, but it also makes you weak. The riddle I gave to you, each life must choose the new path, for the wanderer's path is the circle with no end. Only you may solve it.
I am Nor. I see through the eyes of everything around me, and I am a spiritual embodiment of love. I feel everything, and it is so beautiful, yet so tragic.
Spiritual embodiment and physical incarnation. I silently question if she can be both. They are not the same. To have this baby, she knows what must be done. Mae Nak sits calmly. This is a thing she has never done. She has been the being I see before me for so long and has endured so much. Her countenance reveals resignation to her eternal love. She will no longer converse with the wind or touch the senses of the jungle crow or share in the mysterious travels of her precious spirit guide, the culmination of so many dreams. It must be done. Mae Nak is silent as I feel her spirit fully enter her body. It is a step back in her consciousness journey. She will forget many things in the same way that most forget their dreams, but her love will survive. She has fully incarnated into this realm. At that very moment, the jungle crows all take flight in spite of the rain, cawing loudly in witness of what just took place. We are left inside alone, and I see an aura of powerful life energy emanating from Mae Nak's body. With powerful tears, she seems to gain twice the strength in her body. She pushes and pushes. The women helping her begin to feel joy. The baby is coming. She pushes with such strength, more overcome with tears of joy than anguish as the baby boy is born. Mae Nak can see Mac's strong, handsome face and his eyes in the child. She holds her very real baby in her arms, barely able to see through her tears. I place my hands gently over her eyes. This is the first time for her in full incarnation. I cause her to collapse into a peaceful sleep. She is not alone.
Chapter 25. Mae Nak. I wake up and the storm is over. I feel as if I had been dreaming a long, powerful dream. This must be what Mac feels like dreaming so often, but now I know that I am awake. I see my beautiful baby in the bassinet beside me. All I can think of is Mac. I don't know where Mac is. I can no longer receive messages in the wind. Did he survive? Where are the crows? I look out of the door opening and can see Niran walking up the still wet grass in his modern clothes and bare feet. Where is Mac? He must be coming to bring me some kind of news. The master monk sees him and walks with him as they approach my dwelling. I go back inside to make sure the baby is okay. I will need him with me if they bring me tragic news of Mac. I sit inside, dreading their entry. It's taking too long. They must be outside thinking of how to deliver the news to me. I look into my baby's eyes and I feel good. I know that Mark would do anything for us. I know he would sacrifice everything, even his life. They enter and I begin to cry. I can't control it. I am shaking so hard. I don't want the baby to see me so upset. Niran sees my condition and comes to me holding my trembling body. Then he sits me on the bed and takes a seat beside me.
I have an incredible story to tell you. Mock isn't here because he had a little trouble yesterday. He got swept away by the swollen river. It was a big mess with so much rain and the river so swollen. I was driving in the rain. All I knew about Mac was that he was near a place called Edge of the World. I couldn't see anything. And then there was this crow battling through the storm. I had nothing else to go by, so I followed it down the road, tracing the Phra along. I was lost and worried about Mac, with nothing but my rather undeveloped intuition to guide me. Near the Phra along was a whole flock of crows circling something. It was Mac, and he was hanging onto a fallen tree branch. And he was struggling, but he was alive. I know him so well, and he does not give up. We tried everything. Boats, ropes. Nothing could get through the current. People, lots of people, started showing up in the monsoon rain. I think all of Thailand came out to help. We linked arms, We made a human chain, and we got him out of the canal. We saved Mac. He is okay. He had to go to the hospital, but will soon be released.
Thunderboy came inside the room and stood statue-like at the master's right side. With much wing flapping, and to everyone's surprise, a crow flew into the dwelling and landed on the master's lap. He used his index finger to stroke the crow's head and down the back of his neck. The old master seemed amused and satisfied at this moment. I know what he is. Bodhisattva, I know I was not alone last night. This will be my first fully incarnated life, and I will spend it with Mark and our beautiful child, cherishing each day. Chapter 26. Mae Nak. Sometime later, the weather is pleasant, and we are in my little boat on the canal, me and Mac and our beautiful child. We love the canal and all of the sights on its banks. We are on our way to the temple. It will be the first time for our child. Everyone in Thailand will be there for Mac, me, and our beautiful child with his father's eyes. It is Songkran. We chose to celebrate the tradition at the temple. It is our first new year together, and we pray at the temple and pour water on the Buddha. We are grateful for this life and for spending this year together. Monks seem to be especially joyful today. Everything is perfect. As we exit the temple grounds and head toward the dock, we can see Niran's boat surrounded by 100 local boats filled with colorful komloi lanterns and flowers. A truly beautiful new year. We can share our joy with everyone. As we get close to the dock, Niran approaches us, grinning so big that I could hardly recognize him. He has the band with him, with a large group of people from the village. Everyone joyfully shouts, "Happy Songkran." Mac knows what is about to happen. He steps out in front of me and puts his arms out wide as everyone in the crowd pulls out their water guns and buckets of water, and they drench him. He is laughing so hard. Niran circles around getting wet and comes to me with a big smile.
I can take the baby for you. You need to help Mac.
I join Mac and get soaked in water. Everyone is laughing. Mac and I have big smiles. He picks me up and spins me around as the water droplets land all around. He puts me down and Niran brings me our child. I hold him between myself and Mac, surrounded by a village of happy faces. Epilogue by Mae Nak. Today, as our child continues to grow, I find myself in the clearing on the shore of the Phra Khanong in my little hut near the trees. It is the Loy Krathong festival, and many beautiful krathongs are floating by our home. I am making 3 krathongs, one for each of us. I am using the banana leaves from our own trees and decorating them with golden shower blossoms in a circular pattern. They are almost ready. I am watching Mac build our house with his bare hands, using the local teak woods just like he had done so long ago. He told me he doesn't know why he is so good at building. I understand. I am so happy that I cry when I watch him. I call Mac and our growing boy to the canal's bank so that we can light the candles and incense sticks. With everything lit, we place them in the water together and they float out into the canal to join the hundreds of krathongs, looking like beautiful lotuses. It is easy to see our krathongs because of the bright yellow blossoms. They float down the river together. This is a good omen that they stay together and the candles stay lit until they go out of sight. It means we will always be together. The monks called me Mae Nak, which means Mother Nak. I always felt Mac's child inside me in the indescribable spiritual way a mother both senses and feels their child. This the monks could sense. Now it is real, and we are all here, living this beautiful life, a manifestation of eternal love that makes centuries fade. I love this truly incarnated, hopeful life. We cherish each sacred moment we are finally together. A family in the place where dreams come true